Please enjoy this feature presentation of the Crooked River Radio Network. This program may contain adult content and is intended for mature audiences only.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
Welcome to Radioactive. Join us as we look at technology and life in the world around us, and have a little fun with it too. I'm Pat Morrow, and
This is John Brown.
I'm Flora Morrow.
And
I'm Dale Miracle, and this is Radioactive.
good evening. What the hell? We're screwed up again, I see.
Oh, why?
The damn audio's not up where it ought to be. You guys hear me?
Yep.
We're not... There it goes.
I was going to say, maybe it's because...
All of a sudden it just started working.
We could hear you, but when it comes to the intro, we could barely hear it over Zoom. It's very faint.
I don't know why that is. Well, we seem to be working now anyway.
Well, yeah.
Well, good evening, everybody. I'm here. Flora's here. Sounds like Eric's here. Sounds like Melanie's here. Sounds like Karam's here. And Keith!
Well,
hi!
We've made you an addict, Keith. You're addicted to radioactivity.
Radioactivity.
That's because I'm not outside playing with Christmas lights right now.
Oh, you aren't? Oh, okay. I guess you were last night, right?
They're working all by themselves now.
Oh.
I still think we ought to simulcast that.
Because I thought I think Missy said she... Hey, Missy. When did you go by Keith's house?
Yeah, you had visitors, Keith.
Friday. Okay, it was Friday.
I sent her the address.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she came by Friday and took a look-see.
Oh, okay.
Kind of cool. Anyway, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our radioactive show. We are on Crooked River Media, Crooked River Radio, every Sunday night at 7 to 9 o'clock. Well, most every. Depends on if I get off my lazy butt and get the show started or not. And but we are here. If you found us on Spreaker, please leave us a like or tell us you were there. Leave us a comment. We love comments from over there. That's the cool thing.
Or if you're listening either on Facebook or on Periscope/Twitter Live, please also leave comments throughout the show on what we're talking about, and we might even read them.
Yeah, you never know. We do look at that stuff as we're going along here. In fact, I'm looking now, but there isn't anything there.
I was wondering about that Twitter
I'm such a jovial host, I swear to God.
You, though? I was wondering about that Twitter thing, so apparently that people can make comments to what they hear then.
Yep. It's just like the Facebook live stream, but on Twitter. So,
okay, cool.
And to answer your question in text, Eric, yes, we can.
Awesome. I'm really looking forward to doing that because I think people really need to know what their kids are watching. Just a little preview for next week. We're going to talk about subliminal messages in kids' movies and shows.
Oh, boy. Oh, goody. What if I already let them watch?
Oh, yeah. You'll definitely find out.
Okay. All righty then.
Okay, psychology class wrecked kids' cartoons and movies for me. Because that's where I got this idea from many years ago.
Oh.
The subliminal messaging thing is an interesting deal. I know Steph has covered it on her show a few times, and we've touched on it here and there a few times too. It could be something that is a little bit on the dangerous side if you don't watch it. Well, you have to watch it in order for it to be effective. That's beside the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Ain't that right, Flora?
Yes, dear.
Yes, dear. And Melanie, you ain't said nothing yet. Wake up over there.
I'm beating my cat up. She keeps pestering me.
You're feeding your cat, and all I can hear is birds in the
feeding
background.
Are you feeding the cat birds?
No. My cat has one of her favorite toys, and hold on. I know it's crazy, but I'm beating her with a stuffed pickle.
Oh, beating her,
Just
not
as long as your husband isn't doing that.
See, it crinkles.
It's a good thing your husband isn't doing that to you.
Oh, Patrick, good grief. All right. This may be a...
And
that
for Christmas.
And that, folks, is why we have the explicit rating.
Yeah, I suppose, because the boss of the station.
Already, Pat?
I'm
That's
here.
for later in the show.
I'm here for a little comic relief, you know.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Cara, wake up! You're quiet, man.
There's the
So
kitty
why are
kitty.
we all talking about beating pickles, man? What did I walk into?
My cat and her pickle.
That's a good question.
So much for being a family show.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, with the topics that we're going to cover tonight, you're probably going to want a little humor.
Uh-oh. I don't even know what it is.
You asked me to talk, so...
On the agenda for tonight, if we get to it all, I've got a couple of things on. I don't really want to cover the COVID thing per se, but I want to make sure everybody is aware of the stuff that's going on around it. I have a couple of things. One clip is on the after Thanksgiving travel. I found another clip on the vaccine and what's going on with that. That's only like hours old. And I have a thing that I found on the supposed side effects of this vaccine. So I figured we'd cover all three of them. But first, I actually got something that I was looking for. I wanted to do a break with just a little bit of a song or something. So what I found was this thing that was really pretty cool. While I'm thinking about something, I better do that though. So just hang with me a minute. Gotta shut off the commercial so it doesn't interrupt us. Or you've been interrupted.
Hey, usually it just cuts me off, so...
Yeah, I know.
That's okay.
The fun's over, Eric.
Yeah.
I was going to say we could maybe at some point we can all talk about our Thanksgivings too.
Oh, yeah, that's a good...
Heaven forbid we should actually do a professional radio show.
Yeah, heaven forbid. Huh? We might even keep Keith as a listener if we do a normal radio.
Well, like I said, Keith is addicted.
That's buying me $9.90 for Christmas.
You're going to be closing your eyes and you're going to be hearing my voice in your head.
No.
Only in the worst nightmares.
Exactly, Eric. Exactly.
Now I got a frog in my throat.
Better than that pickle.
That's called Fleming out in the trade.
It's those quiet ones.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Oh my gosh!
That was funny.
That was a fun way to start the show.
Melanie
Brings new meaning to Peter Piper picked a peck of pepper pickle.
Pickled peppers.
Hey, it's Kyram's rhyme. Let him say it the way he wants to.
It could be pickled peckers.
Oh.
We won't go there.
Trick, Jesus. All right, enough.
I have a phallic syndrome. You can tell what kind of a week it's been around here.
Excuse.
And I can hardly wait for Tuesday night. Or Tuesday.
The weather.
Because the stinking weather is going to do what it's going to do.
Yeah.
Do I get that again?
We're going to get nailed by the looks of it. They're saying 3 to 7 for this area.
We've already
Inches
got
of
nailed
snow,
too
that
much.
is.
Let's just get nailed some more.
No, I don't want it.
No.
I got to drive in that crap. I got to do 200 miles that day.
Eesh.
So it's not gonna be fun. But it's supposed to start tomorrow afternoon and go in pretty much all day Tuesday and Wednesday until this storm system gets through here. For anybody that is outside of our that isn't aware of where Crooked River and everything is, we are in the Akron, Ohio area, and Akron and Cleveland is prone to a little bit of snow on occasion, and we're supposed to get that tomorrow night. Let's see. What are we going to talk about first, guys? Want to do the Browns first?
I was going to say...
Yeah, let's do that first.
All right, let's do that first. But first, I got to find what I'm looking for.
The song.
Yeah, you were going to play a song anyway before we...
You are our Browns team, a Cleveland fan's dream. You make us happy when winning games. Through good or bad times, we'll stick beside you. Please don't take our brownies away. The past few seasons, we have been dreaming that a new day would surely come. A dangerous feeling has been awakened, so we'll stand up and proudly exclaim. You are our Browns team, a Cleveland fan's dream. You make us happy when winning games. Through good or bad times, we'll stick beside you. Please don't take our brownies away. Please don't take our brownies away.
Nobody better take my brownies away. I'll get mad.
Browns.
Huh?
Just so we give credit to the right people.
Yeah. These were some kids from Rittman, Ohio, the Roofner kids. I'm trying to remember their dad's first name. I think it's Steve. I think. No, Sean.
Sean Roofner.
Sean Roofner. And
we appreciate him for actually giving us a copy of that song so we could play it.
I really would like to see if he's got more time in his books now, and maybe he could do a one-on-one with you, and maybe with the kids and stuff.
That would be fun.
I'd really love to. Since they're a couple of years older now,
Speaking of one-on-ones, Kyram, you and I need to do one.
Do what?
We need to do a one-on-one. That I've got a show or a podcast I do whenever I find people to do it. I've got 2 or 3 people in mind, and you were one of them. I'd kind of like to do it's a half-hour thing. There's no holds barred on the questions. We just sit and talk. I'll ask you stuff about what you do for a living, all kinds of stuff like that. But that'll be a podcast coming up. You and I will talk about this off the air. But I'd kind of like to. This is what's called a tease.
Yes.
I'd kind of like to do a one-on-one with you.
As long as we can do it through Zoom, I'm fine
Oh
with
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah. That's the way it works.
Yeah.
I've done I think 6 or 7 of these now.
Yeah, you don't have to see Pat face to face.
Yeah, that's right. You can even leave the camera off. I don't care.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. We can talk about that off the air.
I was just teasing.
Yeah, that's right. The only one that's got to look at me is you, dear.
And Melanie. Melanie had to look at you the other day, too.
Yeah, that's true, too. I feel sorry
I
for her.
suppose she didn't have to, but...
You got to feel sorry for her.
But she was very nice coming over the other day on Thanksgiving. So.
Anyway, as you all know, the Browns won today by the skin of their ass.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell my observations of that game. How can you go to Jacksonville, who has got a 1-9, well, actually 1-10 record, and damn near lose to them? You had Baker Mayfield that played probably one of the... They said his quarterback rating was 118 or 117.5, which I don't find believable hardly at all.
No.
He was throwing stuff that shouldn't have been thrown. He missed a guy right wide in the... The guy couldn't have been any more open in the end zone, and he missed him because he had too much pepper on the ball.
Sounds like Cleveland Browns.
And it was... I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't care what people say about him. I don't think he's the future quarterback of the Browns.
Huh? Like I commented on your post earlier, that take sounds familiar.
Yeah,
I said that last week.
I've watched this kid since he came into the league. He gets hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold. And by now, we're almost 4 years in. Or we are 4 years in, aren't we?
3.
Yeah,
This is his second full season, third season in the league.
Okay, you got one more year, and then you got to decide if you're going to pick up his 5th-year option or not.
Yeah.
And at this point, I'd almost think they'd be better off if they didn't. I hate to say that about him. I want him to win. I want him to do what he needs to do. But his maturity is just not showing up. And it has to. There's no choice. His maturity has to show up, and it's not there.
It's a lot of it, and I think I might have said this last week, is mechanics. He's not setting himself and throwing it. He's throwing off his back foot. He's, throwing more jumping in the air.
And he's done that.
That doesn't work.
I know of 3 times he's done that in this Jacksonville game.
Yeah.
There was one pass he went to, I think it was to Chubb. He was wide open and he threw it on the wrong side of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rookie mistakes. He's not a rookie anymore.
No.
But we'll see. I'm not the one who runs that team. Although sometimes I wish I would or could.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Now that we've bored everybody else to sleep.
Probably just.
Hey, come on, you guys.
Barely there, Kyra.
I'm actually awake this time. This time.
Yeah,
I know
this
Keith.
time.
Keith has to keep. I still have to snicker thinking about it. Some of the meetings where I'm pretty sure Keith was the one sitting beside me, going, "Flora, wake up! Flora, wake!" I know flipping Jack Hicks did that to me one time.
You fall asleep in my meetings too?
Well, sorry. I just couldn't help it. It was one of them days.
And here I thought you were enthused with me.
Yeah.
You're boring, Pat.
Oh, thanks, Keith. You really helped me there, bub.
You're so monotone.
Huh? What?
You
monotone.
want me to be monotone, I will. How is that? I can go record I can go record a voiceover that just keeps doing that over and over and over again.
Should we talk about our Thanksgivings now?
Well, if you want to.
Okay.
I don't see why
That
not.
would be a good topic.
Well, I
I
think
ate too much.
You got 7 minutes. Go.
bite me. Anyway,
You're the bear, baby.
I think we did fairly well at this house for Thanksgiving. We actually ate this year by, what was it, 3 o'clock?
3:24.
3:24, which usually we're not doing it till like 5 or 5:30 sometimes. And I think we did very well this year. Melanie came over with the green bean casserole and her son Vincent, and we just, we had a good old time, I think. And no, there were no forks or spoons thrown. Yes, there was wine, but hey, that's just a freaking Thanksgiving tradition is the wine. But I apologize, Melanie. I didn't even offer any to you this year. I terribly apologize for that.
She was so stingy.
I know. I was like, that was my wine.
Okay.
You can't have any.
That's okay. She tried to tie-dye her shirt this year. That's okay.
I had some assistance with that.
You ought to see all the wine that's over there on that table.
What kind of party was this?
This was our Thanksgiving dinner. I went over to make myself some coffee this morning. I looked down and there's about 12 bottles of wine over there.
No, 12 bottles.
Where the hell did you get all this? She said, well, every time I go to the store there, if they have any, I pick a bottle up.
All right. In my defense, this is the bottles of wine that goes with his mix to make sangria. And there was a time when we first started doing our own sangrias at home, like they do at Olive Garden, that I couldn't find the wine. And so now, every time I find the wine, I think I better grab a bottle. So, and plus two, guess what? It makes it so I can have some too if I want some. Since I'm out of mine.
There's the motivation.
There is
a
dual motive to that, yes. And I don't have to work tomorrow because I'm going to go get my ears checked.
What?
Yay!
What?
Huh?
What? Huh?
After 2 or 3 years of my family complaining that
What?
I turned the TV up too loud,
Huh?
I'm actually going to go get my ears checked. I have a feeling they're going to tell me there's nothing wrong with me, but
You should get a
see.
a cleaning. Like my doctor, he does this like wash
Yeah.
or something. And
Can you see the screen,
on it
Flora?
for,
Do I see it?
Yeah, look at the screen.
What about it?
Look at what I've done there.
What did you do?
Look at Melanie.
Yeah.
Sorry, Melanie.
I see Melanie. I see you. I see me.
Can you see the extension of her?
ow.
Down below?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks like it's all part of her, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, I guess, but
Let
okay.
me go on here and see what
I
you're
don't.
talking about.
It's okay. At
You
least.
can't see it on there.
Well,
Oh.
she might. I don't know. She might
No,
be
she
able to.
can't
no?
see it.
Well, whatever. Anyways, Melanie, as you were saying about me asking them to clean my ears out and whatever, but
It's a irrigation is what the doctor does. And it gets rid of all the buildup in there.
well,
Thumbs don't go all the way through.
No, it doesn't go all the way through.
Well, for most people.
I was gonna say it better not.
Not like a neti pot.
Well, I was going to say, though, when I was to my regular doctor, I mean, he looked in my ears and stuff. He didn't clean them out or nothing, but so I don't know. Of course, I'm getting to go see a woman with a foreign last name, so I'm kind
What?
of thrilled about that. So it did ask on the questionnaire whether I wanted an interpreter, so I'm assuming that they were thinking that I couldn't speak English. I'm just hoping it wasn't because she can't speak English. Otherwise, we're going to be in a real pickle.
Probably is.
We're going to be in a real pickle tomorrow.
Did you ever see that? What that
I'll
interpreter
give you
thing
my pickle.
reminded me of
Yeah.
is that Did you ever see that that Saturday Night Live bit that's got the interpreter on there, where it's Garrett Morris? For tonight, we'll use our interpreter, and he's standing. Our top story tonight.
Okay, guess you had to be there. No.
I'll find that bit and play it if you want me to.
Oh, okay.
Just for you, dear.
Just for me, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
just for you.
Just for me. You know you're getting old when you're watching TV last night and they were showing things of Saturday Night Live from years ago, and it was on Time Life.
And you can remember sitting and watching it.
I was just like looking at that thinking, shoot.
I think one of my favorite Saturday Night Live bits was that damn land shark. That was the funniest thing.
That's that and Jane, you ignorant slut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Not as funny when I say it. Huh?
No. And I don't dare say it.
Oh, dear. All right, I'm sorry. Eric, Melanie,
Front center.
Hiram, Keith, somebody. How was your Thanksgiving?
Mine was wonderful.
It was actually.
Go ahead.
Okay. Mine was good. It was actually nice to finally have a day off for the first time in 3 years. Because working at the store that I used to work at, we were open, and of course they started Black Friday on Thanksgiving night.
Right.
So, we were forced to work, Black Friday or on Thanksgiving. So yeah.
Wow.
Missy used to work for that place too.
Really.
Only thing, my daughter. Only thing was, she lived in Worcester. I don't know if you know where that's at. That's in Wayne.
That's where the regional office.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and she lived in Worcester, and drove to the store in Millersburg to work.
Oh, that's.
And left the girls with us here in Akron.
Oh.
So yeah, she'd have Thanksgiving with us, drive all the way to Millersburg, work like I don't know how many hours. Well, actually, she did that with that place and one place that's out of business now. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that place or not. The one that was around the corner from us, it's now a U-Haul place. Anyways, that place too used to have overnight hours.
You can't say its name, but its initials are Kmart.
Oh, you're funny.
I mean,
Anyways,
not like they're in business, so it's not free.
okay,
advertising.
well, you know. So anyway, she worked for them for a while too, and had to. She ended up having to leave here, go down there. Of course, at that point in time, I told her just to go sleep in her apartment for a little while and then come up here. But oh well, thank God now she works at Acme right around the corner. I don't know whether I should say thank God they now live with us, but anyways, that. So now, you know, yeah, we're all right here, one big happy family.
Yep. Happy family. Big.
Yeehaw.
Big.
Anyhow,
Happy
all right.
family.
All right, let's go to Melanie, Keith, Kyram. Somebody pick one.
Kind of wine you drinking?
Huh? What kind of wine?
Yeah, I see you tipping that glass back.
It's Italia Roscata. It's a sweet red wine.
Okay.
She never offered
Sorry
me
I
any.
interrupted. Go ahead.
Say what?
She never offered me any.
You
I
usually.
think I interrupted Eric. I said go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead, Eric.
No, I'm done.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I think Kyram was next.
Kyram might have been talking.
Oh.
Yeah, my Thanksgiving was pretty cool. I got to spend time with my sister, my sister's boyfriend, and my niece. and my niece being the loudest one because she's only 3.
Sweet.
That had a lot of food, honey roasted ham, some roast, a honey baked ham. What I said, honey baked ham, and then roast, and then a green bean casserole. And we didn't have any turkey, but it didn't really put a damper on the Thanksgiving. I was just happy to have my family around at least. But I also had what's it called? Cheesecake. Some cheesecake, strawberry cheesecake.
Oh, that's always good.
And some pie, but we ended up, the pie was maybe a little bit of overkill, but we ended up having it anyway.
Nothing wrong with that.
It wasn't average, but it wasn't like over the top. It was balanced. It was a really nice, balanced, peaceful Thanksgiving for everybody.
I described ours as quiet but nice. We're usually used to. There's years that I've had 20 people here to cook for, and this year we had 7. And it was, it really wasn't the hustle and bustle and all that of the normal years, which was actually kind of nice. I feel more rested now that I've been in quite a few Thanksgivings. A little nervous about what the weather's going to do, but all in all, it was a nice week. It was a nice weekend. I had a few things to get done. One was cleaning up my living room, and I finally got working on it. I actually got my bench out there in the garage cleaned off. I can actually work on a computer if I need to out there. That's cool. I had that in about a year. But that's the kind of...
It would be cool if you don't have it heated.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it's not heated, so I'm not really that concerned about it. If I need it to work on something like that out there, I'll just throw a coat on and be done with it. Work on it till my fingers get cold and then kind of drag it all back in here. But it was kind of a nice, restful day, or weekend. Even though I had to work I actually had to work Friday, which was a bear, but nothing new. And how was yours, Keith?
We were kind of quiet. We don't have a big 13-person get-together over at my mom's, which is near where you live, Pat. And she has a neighbor that would make a phone call to the police because we were over 6 people. That's just the way her neighbor is. So we stayed at home here. Her parents weren't doing anything because my father-in-law recently had a stroke, and they are completely staying isolated from their family, from their kids because of COVID. My mother-in-law's real germophobic.
Yeah, well, I had somebody over here to pick a computer up this afternoon that said he was around people yesterday, so he wore a mask the whole time.
Well, I thought that was nice that he thought of us anyways.
So, the closest thing we had to turkey over here, because the 2 kids wouldn't eat it, and it would be just me and my wife trying to eat a turkey. So I made a baked chicken in the oven, and mashed taters and gravy and stuffing and corn.
That's good.
And I topped it off with a Guinness.
Have you done any radio? There was a contest this weekend.
No, I actually hooked up the radio today to see if it would interfere with the cameras I put outside, and I didn't get any interference. I think I got to work on my auto tuner that's out there. I think it might have some water in it. I have to dry it out again.
Yeah, that happens. I know. I've gotten to the. I'm trying to get this 891 I've got hooked up so I can do some FT8 and that on it, and I just haven't. I haven't had enough time to do all the research I need to do. I thought the thing had a sound card in it, but it turns out it doesn't, so I'm going to have to go buy one. That just throws me to flipping death. So, I bought the radio thinking I could put that, that I could put that on the air for the digital stuff, and use my 7300 for voice. And
That's
so
fine.
far,
it was $9.90 for Christmas.
So what we're gonna have to do is get a rig blaster for it or something. You ever played with any of that?
I got FT8 here. I run it on my Kenwood 590.
You running a rig blaster or anything like that, or?
No, I got the little interface. I can't think of the name of it now. Even though the radio does have a sound card in it, I still use the interface.
If I could get away without using the interface, I'd probably do it. But there's just no way, and I don't have the time to sit and try to make it work when it's probably not going to anyway, from what I've been told. But we'll get it to time. I've got deep pockets when it comes to stuff like that. There's
so
enough.
You can buy me a Kenwood 990 for Christmas.
I think it's either a sound.
Did you hear Keith?
Yeah, I heard him.
That's my subliminal message.
I think you got 2 chances of that. And I'll bet you know what they are through subliminal messaging too.
Hey, can I ask Keith something before I forget about it?
Sure.
Because if I don't ask now, I'll forget. Can I get Boy Scout popcorn any time of the year?
No, you can't. We just.
Man.
I wish I would have known about a month ago. I could have passed you an order for
I had a box, but now other people discovered that, hey, Grandma, this popcorn tastes pretty good. Can we have some too? And so therefore now Grandma's stash is like down to 3 or 4 bags or whatever you want to call it.
We'll hit you up next year.
Yeah, that would be a good thing, because I almost got a hold of you this year, and then I passed somebody at the local one store there and bought a box of it out there, but
that could have been us, never know.
At the, how can I say this, that one store out in Brimfield.
We were out there.
Were you? Okay, well,
yeah.
Then maybe it was your group then. I don't know. So, who knows?
Yep, who knows?
Only the shadow knows.
That's right. That's for sure.
So did we miss anybody here?
I know Melanie started talking about me getting a tie-dyed shirt. Do you want to? Did you get to say much about your? Well, you said it was nice and whatever, but
yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, it was nice because she was over here with us.
It was calm. All the kiddos actually got along.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, a teenage boy and a teenage girl that actually got along.
How did you do that?
I still have yet to figure that one out. I don't know, but
Dad, I watched that auction that's one of our friends that does on Thanksgiving evening.
Yeah, he said he was in there till 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I didn't go to bed till it was like 3:12 or something like that is what my Fitbit said. But they auctioned off a PS5 digital for over $1,100.
Wow.
And then they auctioned off some mixer thing. It was a Go XLR or something. And that was like $600 that they got.
Excuse me.
I was just like, whoa. Crazy.
She told me. I'm gonna have to make a. Actually, he told me they made a killing on that. He said he didn't leave till 5 o'clock in the morning. Him and his wife were over here this afternoon during a Browns game, and he picked up his computer. And I'm gonna, for anybody that listens to the, what's the name of that auction?
Hold on. I have it.
Might as well plug it. If you're on Facebook and you...
Auctioneer.
That's a really nice mixer too.
It's
They
first
auction off.
choice auction.
Huh?
I said that's a really nice mixing board that they auctioned off, because I looked it up. The Go XLR that Melanie was saying they auctioned off. It looks like it's.
Oh,
I got
It's
it.
a really nice.
I think she had it,
mixing
Patrick. Oh, okay.
Okay, good, Melanie.
First choice auction.
First choice auctions. If anybody, if you're on Facebook and you've watched that auction, we know the owner, or we know the auctioneer of it, and I'm actually going to take. We're in communications about doing a either a one-on-one, or he's going to visit this show live. Probably both as we go along here over the next month or so. I told him we could help him out with getting some extra viewers. So if you're interested in auctions and that, stay tuned. The guy's name is Derek Combs, and he runs First Choice Auctions. And if you're interested in that type of stuff, it's almost addicting, to be honest about it.
Isn't it, Melanie?
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't it, Melanie?
He's stolen a lot of my money.
Yeah.
Could you do me a favor, Mel?
Yeah.
Could you text your sister the room information? She's
Okay.
trying to tell me that I didn't send her the right stuff.
Okay.
That would keep me from having to do it.
Someday when your stepmother grows up and gets a real smartphone, maybe she can help. But right now she still has a dumb phone.
Anyway.
Sorry about that, dear.
Let's change gears here a little bit. Since everybody's on their way home from Thanksgiving, and I wanted to cover a little bit of this before the 8 o'clock hour. I've got a clip here that I found on YouTube that talks about the traveling during Thanksgiving. So let's.
Oh, I see Justine.
Good evening, Justine. You there? Yeah, I guess you are.
I see her.
Good evening.
There she is.
Yeah. We're going to be talking about a little bit of COVID stuff here for about the next half hour or so, I think. I do have a clip that I want to play on the Thanksgiving, everybody returning home from Thanksgiving. So let's do that first. Then we'll come back and talk about it a little bit. Y'all hang loose here a minute. We'll be back on the other side of this. You're listening to the Radioactive Show on Crooked River Radio. We'll be right back.
Causing more local leaders to crack down. In Los Angeles, where cases have quadrupled since spring, officials have issued a new stay-at-home order banning all public gatherings except religious services and protests, and limiting restaurants to delivery or takeout only. Further north in Santa Clara County, officials are blocking all contact sports for at least 3 weeks.
What we do or what we don't do starting today may mean a matter of life and death for many living in our county.
The ban impacts professional sports, including the San Francisco 49ers. In a statement, the team says it's working with the NFL and partners on operational plans and will share details once confirmed. It comes as Commissioner Roger Goodell banned all in-person team activities Monday and Tuesday, with the exception of scheduled games. Goodell cited rising cases nationwide and noted a number of players and staff celebrated the Thanksgiving holiday with out-of-town guests. The highly anticipated game between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers postponed twice as cases rise among Baltimore players. And now, big trouble for the Denver Broncos. Every quarterback on their roster ineligible to play in today's game after one quarterback tested positive.
We expect to have positive cases with, over 10,000 people involved across 32 different sites and communities. It's almost impossible to not have positive cases, but we want to identify them as quickly as possible.
Now, Willie, for the many Americans who are just desperate from some sort of relief, there is hope on the horizon. According to a source familiar with the planning, the first doses of Pfizer's COVID vaccine have made their way to the United States. Now, separately, advisors for the CDC have called an emergency meeting for Tuesday to decide who would be the first to get any vaccine. Willie?
All right, Blaine Alexander starting us off in Atlanta. Blaine, thank you so much.
The vaccine provided this high a level of efficacy.
Dr. Bill Gruber is the head of vaccine development at Pfizer. He oversaw the tests of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine on 44,000 volunteers. His team learned the good news that it was 95% effective on a Zoom call.
They had tears in their eyes. This was an extraordinary moment.
The new so-called RNA vaccines use a new approach. Instead of giving you a dead or weakened version of the virus itself, like the measles and chickenpox vaccines, these contain only a tiny fragment of the virus.
So it trains your immune system to basically fight off the virus when it encounters it in the future. This is a watershed moment in two respects, because obviously it's safe and effective for coronavirus, but it also could really be a pivotal moment in the ability to develop better vaccines.
Pfizer tested several different formulas for the vaccine, or constructs, as they call them.
We didn't know which one would work best. We moved very methodically, but expeditiously.
But developing the vaccine is only the first hurdle. Now you've got to ship it out to people.
It goes from the manufacturers to their distributors to the CVS's and Walgreens and Rite Aids of the world to doctors' offices directly.
And you have to keep it cold.
Some of the vaccines are getting down to minus 70 degrees Celsius.
Minus 94 Fahrenheit.
Ultra cold. At scale, that would be unusual.
Thomas Teig is the CEO of Direct Relief, a nonprofit that distributes medicine to community health centers and free clinics. He introduced me to the concept of the cold chain.
Welcome to the cold room, Mr. Bond.
If you buy ice cream, you're receiving food through a cold chain. It's manufactured, it's kept cold till it gets to the distribution center of your grocery store, where you are the picker and packer and you are your own last mile.
If the FDA gives approval to the new coronavirus vaccines, some of them will soon be crossing the country in boxes like these.
Slides in.
Surrounded by super frozen slabs.
We can monitor what the temperature inside the box is. This actually has a GPS tracker in it. If it ever went out of temperature range, you would know where it was when it went out of range. These are actually one-time use boxes and devices.
What kind of grand total are we talking about?
All in, with sometimes 2 or 3 of these data loggers at different positions, about $300 for the packaging material alone.
And for use on planes and trucks?
On a forklift, you could bring this. It's got its own battery.
There's this self-contained, battery-powered shipping freezer.
It's rated for minus 20 Celsius, minus 4 Fahrenheit.
It does seem like there's a big difference between the Pfizer vaccine with its minus 94 requirements and the Moderna, which could survive in a lot of these existing cold technologies.
The temperature difference is significant.
The next challenge is making enough of the vaccine. Pfizer, Moderna, and the other pharmaceutical companies are already making their vaccines in huge tanks 24 hours a day. In fact, they started months ago, even before the trials were complete.
You got to come up with 330 million doses.
Oh, no, it's much more than that. We should be thinking 10 times that much, at least, as a starting point. We should be thinking 3.5 billion doses.
Harvard Business School professor Willie Shih is an economist and an expert on manufacturing.
A lot of the carriers like FedEx, like UPS, like DHL, they've been building these freezer farms in anticipation of having to ship larger quantities of COVID-19 vaccines at very cold temperatures.
The bigger problem, he says, will be managing our expectations. The pandemic won't end once you get your shot.
I really worry about people not understanding. Once I got that shot, I should be good, right? I can go back out to dinner. I can get my hair cut. I can go to the gym. Not so fast. Certainly until we get broader immunization, people are still going to have to wear masks. And they're still going to have to practice social distancing. I don't think the American public is ready for that yet.
I was probably with a lot of the country thinking this is the beginning of the end of the pandemic.
No, only when the contagion rate goes down will we get back to some semblance of normal. And that's going to take a long time.
The government plans to allot the vaccines to the states according to their populations. The vaccine will be free to all. The CDC will recommend giving it first to healthcare workers and older Americans. If all goes well, by the spring of 2021, a vaccination will be available to anyone who wants one. But the question is, will enough people want one?
Convincing people to get vaccinated is going to be our biggest challenge of all.
Dr. Celine Gounder is an epidemiologist at the NYU Grossman School of Medicine and Bellevue Hospital.
In the United States, we have a history of vaccine skepticism.
The vaccine provided this high a level of efficacy.
Dr. Bill Gruber is the head of vaccine development at Pfizer. He oversaw the tests of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine on 44,000 volunteers. His team learned the good news that it was 95% effective on a Zoom call.
They had tears in their eyes. This was an extraordinary moment.
The new so-called RNA vaccines use a new approach. Instead of giving you a dead or weakened version of the virus itself, like the measles and chickenpox vaccines, these contain only a tiny fragment of the virus.
So it trains your immune system to basically fight off the virus when it encounters it in the future. This is a watershed moment in two respects, because obviously it's safe and effective for coronavirus, but it also could really be a pivotal moment in the ability to develop better vaccines.
Pfizer tested several different formulas for the vaccine, or constructs, as they call them.
We didn't know which one would work best. We moved very methodically, but expeditiously.
But developing the vaccine is only the first hurdle. Now you've got to ship it out to people.
It goes from the manufacturers to their distributors to the CVS's and Walgreens and Rite Aids of the world to doctors' offices directly.
And you have to keep it cold.
Some of the vaccines are getting down to minus 70 degrees Celsius.
Minus 94 Fahrenheit.
Ultra cold. At scale, that would be unusual.
Thomas Teig is the CEO of Direct Relief, a nonprofit that distributes medicine to community health centers and free clinics. He introduced me to the concept of the cold chain.
Welcome to the cold room, Mr. Bond.
If you buy ice cream, you're receiving food through a cold chain. It's manufactured, it's kept cold till it gets to the distribution center of your grocery store, where you are the picker and packer, and you are your own last mile.
If the FDA gives approval to the new coronavirus vaccines, some of them will soon be crossing the country in boxes like these.
Slides in.
Surrounded by super frozen slabs.
We can monitor what the temperature inside the box is. This actually has a GPS tracker in it. If it ever went out of temperature range, you would know where it was when it went out of range. These are actually one-time use boxes and devices.
What kind of grand total are we talking about?
All in, with sometimes 2 or 3 of these data loggers at different positions, about $300 for the packaging material alone.
And for use on planes and trucks?
On a forklift, you could bring this. It's got its own battery.
There's this self-contained, battery-powered shipping freezer.
It's rated for minus 20 Celsius, minus 4 Fahrenheit.
It does seem like there's a big difference between the Pfizer vaccine with its minus 94 requirements and the Moderna, which could survive in a lot of these existing cold technologies.
The temperature difference is significant.
The next challenge is making enough of the vaccine. Pfizer, Moderna, and the other pharmaceutical companies are already making their vaccines in huge tanks 24 hours a day. In fact, they started months ago, even before the trials were complete.
You got to come up with 330 million doses.
Oh, no, it's much more than that. We should be thinking 10 times that much, at least as a starting point. We should be thinking 3.5 billion doses.
Harvard Business School professor Willie Shih is an economist and an expert on manufacturing.
A lot of the carriers like FedEx, like UPS, like DHL, they've been building these freezer farms in anticipation of having to ship larger quantities of COVID-19 vaccines at very cold temperatures.
The bigger problem, he says, will be managing our expectations. The pandemic won't end once you get your shot.
I really worry about people not understanding. Once I got that shot, I should be good, right? I can go back out to dinner. I can get my hair cut. I can go to the gym. Not so fast. Certainly until we get broader immunization, people are still going to have to wear masks. And they're still going to have to practice social distancing. I don't think the American public is ready for that yet.
I was probably with a lot of the country thinking this is the beginning of the end of the pandemic.
No, only when the contagion rate goes down will we get back to some semblance of normal. And that's going to take a long time.
The government plans to allot the vaccines to the states according to their populations. The vaccine will be free to all. The CDC will recommend giving it first to healthcare workers and older Americans. If all goes well, by the spring of 2021, a vaccination will be available to anyone who wants one. But the question is, will enough people want one?
Convincing people to get vaccinated is going to be our biggest challenge of all.
Dr. Celine Gounder is an epidemiologist at the NYU Grossman School of Medicine and Bellevue Hospital.
In the United States, we have a history of vaccine skepticism. You have people who don't want to be told by the government what to do. You have people who don't trust pharmaceutical companies. You also have communities of color that have a long distrust of the healthcare system.
This might seem like a really dumb question, but what are people worried about?
People are afraid about side effects. They're afraid that they might get sick. I've even heard theories that people think this is a vaccine for mind control. A lot of this is all over the map. We have a really tough road ahead in terms of convincing people that is not the case.
So you're a member of President-elect Biden's advisory committee on the coronavirus. Is there a plan in place for addressing some of the skepticism?
We're going to have to think outside the box here and be a bit creative. This is something that we haven't had to do here before.
Do you envision public service announcements and celebrity endorsements?
That's not really thinking that far outside the box. I think you're going to have to see a lot of more grassroots community outreach, partnering with local leaders, people who are trusted by the community.
Well, let me ask you this. Dr. Celine Gounder on national television, would you take the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine for you and your family right now?
I will likely be among the first who are lining up to get it. I am a frontline healthcare worker, so I would really love to get vaccinated before I have to put myself at risk in that way again.
You're not worried about mind control?
I'm not worried about mind control.
The reputation of the AstraZeneca vaccine has suffered because of reporting and testing irregularities. But as for the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines, the whole story seems improbable. The stakes were high, society was shut down, and somehow, in the clutch, researchers and scientists came up with a new kind of vaccine that they say is 95% effective in a matter of months. I asked Pfizer's Bill Gruber how that was even possible.
We live in a remarkable age. Science has really progressed to a point where we have the tools to do this type of thing, and we have the dedicated people to do it, people who've dedicated their lives. You know, everybody's rowing together, and it's a really extraordinary thing. It would not have happened without them.
People who don't want to be told by the government what to do. You have people who don't trust pharmaceutical companies. You also have communities of color that have a long distrust of the healthcare system.
This might seem like a really dumb question, but what are people worried about?
People are afraid about side effects. They're afraid that they might get sick. I've even heard theories that people think this is a vaccine for mind control. A lot of this is all over the map. We have a really tough road ahead in terms of convincing people that is not the case.
So you're a member of President-elect Biden's advisory committee on the coronavirus. Is there a plan in place for addressing some of the skepticism?
We're going to have to think outside the box here and be a bit creative. This is something that we haven't had to do here before.
Do you envision public service announcements and celebrity endorsements?
That's not really thinking that far outside the box. I think you're going to have to see a lot of more grassroots community outreach, partnering with local leaders, people who are trusted by the community.
Well, let me ask you this. Dr. Celine Gounder on national television, would you take the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine for you and your family right now?
I will likely be among the first who are lining up to get it. I am a frontline healthcare worker, so I would really love to get vaccinated before I have to put myself at risk in that way again.
You're not worried about mind control?
I'm not worried about mind control.
The reputation of the AstraZeneca vaccine has suffered because of reporting and testing irregularities. But as for the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines, the whole story seems improbable. The stakes were high, society was shut down, and somehow, in the clutch, researchers and scientists came up with a new kind of vaccine that they say is 95% effective in a matter of months. I asked Pfizer's Bill Gruber how that was even possible.
We live in a remarkable age, science has really progressed to a point where we have the tools to do this type of thing, and we have the dedicated people to do it, people who've dedicated their lives. You know, everybody's rowing together, and it's a really extraordinary thing. It would not have happened without them.
How about that?
Pretty interesting.
Yeah. That's interesting, but I still don't buy it. Like,
well, I'll tell you what, this isn't the first time that there's been a vaccine of the magnitude of what they're wanting to disperse that was put out. When I was 3 and 4, 5 years old, I think it was, actually 6, that was when the polio vaccine came out. That wasn't anywhere near as effective as what they're saying this thing is. And my curiosity is about the side effects. You know, are you going to turn into a green monster? So I'm pretty skeptical about taking it myself.
What about the temperature thing that they were talking about?
That's going to be an interesting deal. But what they've got, you saw that box that was on there.
Yeah.
That's capable of -20. If they put that in a cold tote or a cold box, that cold box is able to get that down even further. And if what they were showing there when they were putting that stuff in the boxes, actually, those were, in my trade, they're called cold totes, or they're an ice tote. And it, fortunately for me, I'm not going to have to handle any of that, because from what I understand, they're going to disperse that through McKesson, which is another big drug company, and they can have the damn stuff. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with it at all, let alone take the thing. But it's going to be an interesting little bit of stuff. You know, as far as the effects of it and stuff like that, I'm not sure I even want to mess with it. And there was a couple of things that woman said that it kind of set the old spidey sense off. And
her laugh was evil.
There is one way that I think you could get a whole bunch of people to take it all at once. Give them a $5,000 stimulus check, and say it's all depend. Once you get the once you get the shot, once you get the shot in the arm, you get half of the check, and when you come back and get the other shot, you get the other half.
Yeah, that's why I would never get it, because I don't want to have to go through 2 separate shots for it. And I think it's just ridiculous. And by the way, did you see my message about what they're trying to do with, not only are they trying to get the healthcare workers, but they want the immediate family of the healthcare workers to get it too. They're going to try to force that.
Wow.
Doing that. And my mom is a nurse.
Well, they're not going to have to worry about me, because I doubt very highly, unless my job actually demands me to take it, and then I may, depending on where I am financially, then I'll think about it. But anyway, that's the size of that. I do have one other bit that I want to play that's a few minutes long, or another clip that is actually on the it's actually on the side effects of it. So let's since we're on the subject of this, let's take and roll that out too. We'll be back on the other side of this. You're listening to Under Lock and Key. Tell where my mind's at.
It's like that every time.
Yeah. You're listening to the Radioactive Show on Crooked River Radio. I need to write that down somewhere.
Thanks, Eric, for backing me up. He always says that, doesn't he?
Yeah, at least once a show.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys aren't
I
helping.
guess I need to start putting sparkly things in my hair and wearing some short shorts.
Or just wear a tattoo radioactive across your forehead. Maybe he'll look at you and see it.
There we go. We need to give me a hat that says radioactive so I could remind him.
God, I need a haircut. Look at that.
All right.
Alvin, we'll be back on the other side.
Turning now to the coronavirus pandemic. The coronavirus still top of mind several months after the outbreak came to the States. The thought of another lockdown is a controversial idea online right now. It's coming from one of President-elect Joe Biden's new task force doctors.
We could lock down for 4 to 6 weeks, and if we did that, we could drive the numbers down.
Now that is Dr. Michael Osterholm, and this video is going viral now with more than 32,000 views and counting. His suggestion comes as cases climb and more states crack down on restrictions. Listen to this. So New York is issuing a statewide curfew, which begins tonight. New Jersey is closing indoor dining at 8 p.m. San Francisco stopping all indoor dining, and a shelter in place has already been put in place in Chicago starting Monday. Now this happening as several companies race to get a vaccine approved, but early trials show you may need to prepare for side effects. Liza Lucas joins us from the bridge. And Liza, these side effects are expected to be mild, but could really impact your daily life.
Yes, it depends on how you react and how you take that feeling of feeling crummy, because that is what the early data is suggesting, that several of these vaccines may make you feel crummy for a couple of days, and then you got to go and get that second dose. Pfizer is likely most others will require 2 doses to work. The injections must be given weeks apart according to company protocols. Now, scientists anticipate that the shots will cause you to feel drained, perhaps flu-like side effects, including sore arms, muscle aches, and fever. The effects could last days and temporarily sideline some people from work or school. Experts believe broad outreach on the vaccine is going to be necessary. And in fact, we've been monitoring how people would feel when it comes to taking that vaccine, the willingness to be vaccinated for COVID-19. A recent Gallup poll showing only half of Americans were ready to take it, half not so much. And we've been talking to people on Twitter throughout the morning. Shanta saying no thanks for her, but Angela saying yes, she trusts the science. And I actually had a tweet just a little while ago from Laura who said the shingles vaccine is no treat either, but so worth it. So again, weigh in this morning. Use that hashtag MorningRushATL. We would love to have your perspective.
And also, we're tracking the latest COVID information, including case surges in your county, on our website and the 11 Alive app. Just head on over to 11alive.com/COVID numbers.
All right, we're back with the side effects, like they said, feeling crummy. Yeah, I feel crummy most of the time anyway. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens with it. I'm skeptical, to say the least. There we go, back to that. But anyway, let's change the subject. I do got one last thing I'd like to play here, and I don't know if I want to do it now, but since it's the end of the COVID talk, we could probably do that. As I was playing around this afternoon looking for topics, I happened across this thing. I wanted to find a song. I found a really good one by Ray Stevens, but it wouldn't let me download it, so needless to say, that didn't get done. But I did find this other thing in the interim as I was looking around. Let's play this quick, get this all out of the way, then we'll change gears. So here's my little tribute to those of you who want a COVID song.
Because we need a song for everything.
Yep.
Well, I'll be damned. It didn't... What the heck?
Well,
that's interesting.
While Pat's trying to figure this out, I would like to plug the Crooked River Radio Instagram page. Go to Instagram and search Crooked River Radio and give us a follow.
We got it. We'll talk about that in a minute when we come back.
Okay.
You're listening to Crooked River Radio, and I just about did that again.
Really?
Radioactive on the Crooked River Radio Network. We'll be right back.
Now, when a virus comes along that's spreading like a plague, and POTUS and his lackeys have been nothing if not vague, well then you've got to trust the CDC and listen well, unless you want to bid our free society farewell. There is a super bad, transmittable, contagious, awful virus, and if we don't act quick and social distance, it will mire us in a stretch of quarantine that lasts until July. A super bad, transmittable, contagious, awful virus. And if you got a better cough in your arm, and if you got a better... Now, back in 1918, influenza had its run, but half the docs were busy overseas with World War I. Today we have mass media and scientists to say, if you don't want this virus, well then stay 6 feet away. Super damn important that we practice isolation, because we're asymptomatic while it's in incubation. We'll overwhelm our hospitals if there's not mitigation. It's super damn important that we practice isolation. If we don't do it, then we're all gonna die. If we don't do it, then we're all gonna die. And so I hope at last you'll take this lesson here to heart, because it's already scary and we're only at the start. If you get bored, just think of the immunocompromised, who can't go much of anywhere unless it's sterilized. Oh, super bad, transmittable, contagious, awful virus. If we don't act quick and social distance, it will mire us in a stretch of quarantine that lasts until July. A super bad, transmittable, super bad, transmittable, contagious, awful virus. Super bad, transmittable, contagious, awful virus.
Was that moving? Was that a great bit?
Well, I'd have to say, I noticed how many bottles of alcohol she had sitting there on the counter.
Yeah, I saw that too. Is that right, Eric?
Huh? I don't hear Eric.
Eric sent me.
Oh, yeah, I forgot I muted. Can you play something like off of YouTube? I just sent you another song that triggered me to send that song you played triggered me to send you this because it's funny and it has to do with the quarantine.
Okay, let me put this let me put this show in another gear here so we can cruise along without me, and I'll go find that thing.
Okay. Yep. I sent you the link to the YouTube video.
What'd you think of that? You can tell who's a Mary Poppins fan here.
Yeah.
Pick me. I've seen that movie probably 30 or 40 times through my lifetime. But what'd you other people think? Karam? What'd you think?
I think he fell asleep.
No, I'm still here.
What did you think of the video?
Oh, it was amazing.
You didn't see it.
I was going to say, were you paying attention at all?
Hey, Kyron, buddy. I hate to tell you this, Kyron, but you can't bullshit a bullshitter.
I think that's about the same answer you'd probably give from Keith, too. If Keith...
When I tell the truth, nobody can listen.
All right, I heard my name. I heard my name. What did I miss?
Patrick played a video, and he comes on and says, "So, what the rest of you think about it, Kyram?" And Kyram said, "I thought it was," what did he say? Amazing or something, anyway.
Somebody listening in the background, we're getting a lot of echo.
Echo.
Or I'm hearing things twice.
We get a lot of feedback.
Yeah, I think it's you, Keith.
Okay, let me turn it off.
There we go.
Okay, there we go.
All right. You still there? He's muted now.
It wasn't me this time. Yay!
He had to mute then, I guess.
I had the TV up so I can hear it in the kitchen.
Okay. Well, anyways, I'm
busy
sorry.
cooking.
Needless to say, Kyram had said something that made it quite apparent that he had not watched the video. And I said I had a feeling that we were going to get a very similar answer from you, too.
And guess what,
I was making dinner.
You making dinner sitting down? Dang, I never seen that before.
When I was off camera, I was making dinner.
What are we having for dinner tonight, Keith?
Well, you got your choice. I made a pot of chili, and I made chicken fried rice.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's a chili kind of night. I had chili and cornbread.
I didn't think about making some cornbread. That would be good.
Chicken fried rice sounds kind of good, actually.
Yeah, it does sound pretty good.
Missy made us steaks tonight on the grill.
Yeah, we had steaks and
pasta.
And it was pretty good.
Awesome.
Anyhow. All right. Anyways, what are we going to do with this show now?
Beat the hell out of me.
Mr. Morrow.
We went through everything I got.
Oh!
Well, I'll sit here. Well,
go on.
I'll plug the Instagram in the time if Pat is able to get that video up that I sent him. I'll plug the Instagram in the time that it takes him to get it going. So if you're on River Radio at Crooked River Radio, hopefully there's more coming to the Crooked River page. More interaction and posts coming.
You guys go ahead and talk.
All right, we're talk. I told Patrick I want to start a new show, or a new part of the show, that I'm going to do book reviews. Only see, now, I don't know if everyone can remember back in the day on Big Chuck and Little John that Houlihan, the weatherman, used to do a segment where he Keith knows what I'm talking about. And Patrick does the voice so much better than I do, though. So I said, I think, what was it, Robert's? It
was Readings by Robert.
Readings by Robert.
This is my accompanist. Keith. Buenas noches, Keith.
Buenas noches, Patrick.
Anyhow, I don't know. That's just a thought and process. I also thought about starting to do a show on Saturday mornings for at least through Christmas time. On Saturday mornings, maybe do like an hour show of Grandma reading Christmas stories. I don't know yet. I'm still kind of kicking that around a little bit. Maybe from 10 to 11, Grandma could read, Grandma reads some Christmas stories.
Speaking of Christmas stories, my wife's family, they would meet on Christmas Eve before everyone would go to bed. Her father would read "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," and he had these bells rigged up outside. He would start ringing when pulling a cord behind his back, making it sound like Santa was arriving.
Oh, how cool! Yeah, there was. My dad had actually. It was actually before I was born. He had a reel-to-reel tape deck and taped a Christmas story for my older brother and sister, and he talked about that the Sandman had to put them to sleep before Santa came, and they lived in this little teeny tiny trailer that didn't have a chimney, and which of course my sister was old enough just old enough to know, now wait a minute, how is Santa supposed to get down that little frickin' stovepipe? And my dad's going,
She needs to watch Tim Allen's The Santa Claus.
Yeah. Well, it was too cute the way it was. I don't know, that poor tape ended up disintegrated, I think. But what was sad was my sister would never listen to the story again, because at the end of it, my brother, who was like 2 or 3 years younger than her, he ended up putting a pillowcase over his head in the story, and my dad's like going, "Now, George, stop it. George, stop it." And the end of the tape is my sister screaming because my brother bit her finger. And it's like, you could hear my mom going, "John, you've got to stop him. John!" It was like, and then all of a sudden, just this blood-curdling scream. And it was like, oh my God. I mean, the story was good up to that point.
Eric, I'll have to grab that next week. I can't get this thing to download.
Oh, okay.
I've been having trouble with that, with YouTube and the downloader that I've got. I'll have to see if I can get something else that'll download it.
Must be operator error.
Oh my God! Look what the cat are doing.
Can't be that supercomputer he has.
I turned my back for 30 seconds, and look what the cat drags in.
They ought to call this podcast the party line, man. There's like all kinds of people out here.
Yeah, wow.
Well, that's what makes our podcast interesting.
These are our groupies.
You never know who's going to show up. We got you. We've got Keith over there, who's a radioactive addicted.
And which he has a very nice Christmas light setup that Missy went to see.
Old Kyram over there, he's getting that way too.
Pat, I'm going to give you my address. You guys need to come by one night and take a look at my setup. I got about 10,000 lights.
Oh, cool.
I have almost that.
Yeah, I got about 24 inflatables.
Okay.
We'll have to make sure Missy finds out so she can take the girls by at least.
I got one sign, 24 inflatables, and 10,000 lights.
Oh, wow.
Star.
Well, go on my look up my call sign. Go on QRZ, and you can get the address and come by.
Yeah.
You're in the club roster, aren't you, Keith?
I'm on a corner lot, so mine's kind of spread out a little bit, which is kind of cool. So as you drive around the corner, it goes from, the edge of the property to the edge of the property.
You're in the Seafark roster, aren't you, Keith?
What's that?
You're in the Seafark roster, are you not?
Yeah, I'm in the Seafark.
Okay, you can get the address from that, John.
Yep, we'll do.
And
I want to see lights. Give me addresses.
Addresses?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go look at the Seafark roster. Oh.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I'm not a member.
I think we live in the same town, John.
Yeah, he's out there by you, Eric.
Yeah, I would love to see the light show.
Well, maybe John. I don't know if John's friends with everyone here, but maybe John can, if he doesn't care.
I'm friends with no one.
You're friends with no one. Okay, fine.
He doesn't play nice with people.
Fine.
No, not at all.
I think he's my friend on Facebook.
Yeah.
Well, I know he is my friend, or he was. But anyway,
I just pretend.
Once he deleted me.
I have to go stir my fried rice.
Oh, okay.
John, are you in the falls?
No, he's in Stowe.
Oh, okay.
Right by the city center.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I got my garage lit up because I have a detached garage. I got my shed lit up, my house. I got this big giant tree that I made in the backyard. It like droops down.
I was
real pretty
waving
from
at
one of my
Keith. He's going to go stir his rice.
20 feet tall. It's pretty cool. Every year we spend, I don't know, $400 or $500, and it just keeps growing every year.
Well, Missy will for sure.
No, it doesn't flash. I don't like flashing lights. That would just give me a seizure, man. I couldn't live somewhere where there's flashing lights.
You're bad enough.
They just stay on, but
okay.
But yeah, wait till next year. I got even bigger plans for next year, but I'm out of budget for this year. So.
Well, we'll make sure Missy at least gets the girls by anyways.
It's really cool. Yeah. It's cool because I got a display for the daytime and the nighttime. I got those 24 inflatables. They're kind of hard to see at night, but I got all the lights for that. And then during the day, if you drive by, you can see all the inflatables. So.
Oh, excuse me.
My yard sounds like like an electric motor. You walk outside, that's all you hear are those fans.
Yeah.
Melanie, we'll have to go for a drive. Let's go.
Okay, come and go.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, dear.
I'll bring my pickle.
John missed the story of the pickle.
I'm good.
He's good. He don't want to know about the pickle.
I don't care.
It's a cat toy.
Oh.
I don't know what you're allowing on here anymore, Pat.
I'm going to tell you, John, I don't know either.
I really wanted to be live today, but I had a situation I had to handle with my grandma.
Aww.
And no, it's not a big deal. Old people, they think they can go out and do things when they can't.
Well, sure.
So
we always think we can go out and do things.
If I didn't go get her tonight and do it, she would have went out herself, and that would have been a disaster. So,
how old is she, if I can ask?
80 something. Jess, how old is Nanny?
80 something.
How old is Nanny? I don't know, 83 or 84.
Oh my.
So, but I don't like her driving.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, oh, hello. I almost dropped my phone. Oh, that would have sucked. Hold on. My thing's back on. A couple years ago, I kicked my grandpa off the mower, What is that?
I don't know.
I did that to throw people off.
Oh.
I don't know if any of you have elderly family, but I don't particularly
I am
like
elderly family.
I was going to say, we are the elderly family around here.
That's true. Anyway. Pat, we're going to have to watch your driving soon, huh?
Yep, damn straight.
Soon. Soon.
Already.
That's why I bought me a big-ass truck. Run your damn ass down.
I have wondered if that was a good idea.
Don't get in my way. I'll run your ass down.
Hey, you know what? Now I have to...
Hey, Dad, have you learned how to back out yet?
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, it's me that hasn't driven the truck yet. But I have to say, I rode with him on Monday for his job. He did a miraculous job, I'm telling you guys. I was very impressed. Now, when I'm riding with him normally, I'm grabbing hold of the flipping side and he goes, "You don't trust me, do you?"
Using the fake brake?
Yeah, pretty much.
I followed you one time. I forgot where we were going. I cannot remember where we were going, but you kept weaving and weaving. I'm like, oh man. This
you ought to be in the passenger seat.
I think you might have been in the passenger seat.
I probably was.
And she was probably going like this. Oh my God.
I was probably with my eyes shut, praying to God.
I remember because
is it 9 o'clock yet?
The radio. So, you know what? I remember where we were going, Pat. We were going from a field day meeting for the club to no. We were going from a technician class to a field day meeting. That's what we were doing. And your driving made me a little bit nervous.
So
I had to go to the emergency room from a hospital or from the urgent care over there in Stowe, and he had to come pick me up because they wouldn't let me drive. Yeah, I almost told them when I got to the ER, check me for a heart attack.
I should have called an ambulance.
Guys. All right, give him a break now. He is the owner here.
To officially tell all.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. There's the chili.
Keith had mentioned 'twas the night before Christmas. Well, last year I had Karim does voice impressions. I don't think anybody here knows that. So
I do.
I had him do "Was the Night Before Christmas" in multiple voice impressions. That was me playing it into the microphone. So
I think he's done. He's had some of this.
What we'll have to do, Eric, is when we do the Christmas show, we'll have to use that. Except I need to doctor it a little bit.
Hey, Pat. Speaking of Christmas, did you put your theme song on the?
You're damn right I did. If you listen to the station, you'd know it was there because it's played.
But I have not heard the theme song yet. You're a mean one, Mr. It reminds me of you.
Didn't you see my comment after that?
And then that smile, it just reminds me of Pat.
Didn't you see my comment after that?
I can see
look
you
at your
like
damn
walking
text
on your
message.
tippy toes, like he does.
Well, look at your text messages once in a while. You might see what I printed.
Listen, I hate my phone. I try to stay away from it. It bothers me. It rings. I told you, I don't like people, man. I want to be left alone sometimes.
The nerve of a phone ringing.
I know.
Yeah, really.
But I got Pat calling me, yelling at me for club things. You're not doing this.
When have I ever yelled at you? You want that to start, you just keep it up, Bubba.
What did I sign up for?
I am just grateful you are the treasurer now. Of course, then I get the secretary complaining about some meeting she has to be in, and I said, if you did not want to do this, you should not have volunteered.
I didn't volunteer. I was volunteering.
Yes, you were kind of drafted, weren't you? I will admit to that. You were kind of drafted.
Yeah, you can blame it on
We
Flora.
have a phrase similar to that at work. It's called volundated.
Volundated, all right.
I believe that.
So, Pat, what's the cuisine tonight over at the what should we call it? The studio.
We had steak.
We had steaks and
rice.
And rice.
Or no,
actually
steak and pasta tonight. Missy made the steaks.
Well, I am having some leftover. It is
turkey?
No, it's honey baked ham, leftover honey baked ham sandwich with Miracle Whip.
Oh, Miracle Whip?
Yes, Miracle Whip. That's what he says. The best.
Oh man! Now wait a minute. I thought
Pat and
Amen.
He likes helmets.
Flora were the ones that got me hooked on Miracle Whip.
Helmets. I even bought
Miracle
a little
Whip.
container of helmets to have here for the next time he comes over, because I kept hearing,
like an
"You
addiction.
remind me of my grandma."
I got. It's like an addiction, Hey, you got the stuff,
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys did to me, but you got me addicted to this Miracle Whip.
Oh my goodness!
It's amazing, isn't it?
Well, I just grew up. My dad never ate Miracle Whip. My grandma did, and I went over there for a show a couple times, and that's all they had. And now I'm hooked.
After all, mayonnaise is just oil and egg whites whipped together.
I don't really want to know.
I just told you.
I'm good. I don't really want to know. Some things are best. Listen, in high school, I went to a magnet school. I don't know if in Texas they have these things. They're called magnet schools, and you still get a high school diploma. It's not a GED or it's high school diploma, but it's based around something. So I went to an agriculture school, and the area that I went into was meat processing, and I'm serious. You're laughing, but imagine.
No,
I don't know.
think anybody was.
1,000 square foot building, or part of a building was a meat processing lab in the school, and we would get full carcasses in, and we would break them down, and there was a meat market we would sell the meat to, and they would sell it. So it was kind of like slave labor in essence. We're not getting paid to do this, but we're learning in the process, and there's just some things I don't want to know anymore. Sausage is one of them. I don't eat sausage.
So we don't want to know what you know then.
John, you said it was a magnet school is what you called it?
Yep.
Where the diploma's magnetized?
Nope.
I was going to say what you described.
It's a real diploma.
I was going to say what you described, and Pat and Keith kind of correct me if I'm wrong here, but that almost kind of sounds like what we have around here, the vocational schools.
Yeah,
that's what
But I think those are GEDs,
That's what I thought.
aren't they?
No, vocational schools
they're
are
high
not
school
GED.
diplomas.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, mine was in agriculture.
That school too, because it was so magnetic.
This school was actually on a big farm property. There was in the back there was cattle, and I mean it was meant for agriculture. All kinds of stuff. It was really neat. It was a good experience, but to this day,
My son just realized he saw me on TV.
I don't eat sausage.
Yeah.
I just don't do it.
Okay, we'll remember
Everything but the
that.
squeal.
What are you doing running around behind all them cows?
Mm-hmm. I went to They took us on. They took high school students on tours of slaughterhouses. Let me tell you how fun that was.
That would be enjoyable.
Oh, there's just There's just some things you can't forget, man, and that's one of them.
Probably smell like hell inside that place.
Oh my God, you have no idea.
Yeah.
The pig one was the worst. Pork was the worst. Pork was the most humane, though. I felt they electrocute them.
Okay.
I'm serious. I'm
sure you are.
It is the most humane thing. That pig just falls over, it's dead. It's not. To me, I thought it was great.
Definitely don't talk to Stephanie about this, man.
I know somebody
I'm serious.
who used to work at a turkey farm where they also
All right.
sell turkey. So
Talks about it like it's so mundane.
I know a bunch of stories.
I'm serious. If you're gonna get slaughtered, you want to be a pig. They just boom.
Hell
done.
no.
Boom, done.
Today.
I won't share the story of when in 7th grade and my husband's like, oh God, not this. But, I got to take care of a couple chickens. It wasn't pretty.
Chickens are disgusting.
Yeah.
I had them growing up.
Yeah. Well.
And I never want them again. They're terrible.
Oh, they were a bunch of peckers, weren't they?
That reminds me of that young Sheldon thing we saw the other week.
That's why Pat calls you an old hen, right?
John.
I always wondered.
I always wondered.
Oh, Lord have
That sounds like a sad laugh.
Well, that's why Pat invites me here to stir up trouble. So.
Yeah, that's why Pat loves you.
Every time I come into this show, I get in trouble for the things I say, and then the following week, he goes,
Are you coming back?
Yeah.
Are you coming tonight?
Yep.
Pat, I feel like you would make your wife laugh so hard to the point where she would laugh and cry at the same time. All
Pretty
at once.
much, yeah.
She would tell us
I'm just here for her entertainment.
See, you guys weren't around in the beginning of Radioactive when Flora would just sit in the corner and get hammered.
How's that any different?
Literally, like we would be sitting around the table. And
Oh yes, I can tell you stories.
Now wait a minute. When we'd go, if we go way back, I was gonna say if we go way back to when we did Saturday mornings from 11 to whatever it was, I would be sitting there reading a book or doing a crossword puzzle.
When we first
I'm
started,
talking about when it first went to the in-home studio.
Yeah.
when we
You'd
first
sit there and
started,
get hammered.
when we first started the in the beginning at
What you talking
SKO,
about, John? What you talking about?
when we first started at SKO, my first shows was me, and it was we were doing the Ham Radio Heaven, and I was doing more or less documentaries on stuff that I'd find that I thought would be a good idea to talk about, and we would go down to the studio. Well, of course, we were working from 11 to noon.
The ratings were phenomenal.
Yeah, like 1, 0. And we would take and do the, we would, I'd do the shows, we'd record them, and the whole time she was sitting over on the casting couch. That's what that was called over there. Didn't you know that? I bet you didn't know that till now.
I don't want to know. No, I don't want to know, man.
Earl and all them.
I didn't sit over there. I sat in
you used to sit on that black couch. That was the casting couch, right, Eric? You know that.
Yeah, but I would sit in a chair. I would not sit over there on that couch. No, I did not.
She did not. No, she would
Thank
sit
you.
She was there in the studio with us.
I was there.
She hardly ever said anything. She'd sit over there by the...
Talk.
Well, there wasn't much for me to say.
She'd sit over there.
She didn't want to be there.
Well, yeah, because I had laundry and stuff to do at home.
I was like, man, Pat, why are you bringing this old head in here? She didn't even want to talk.
That sounds like you might be in for it next time you come in the studio.
Yeah, I really love you, John. You see how many sandwiches I make for you from now on, buddy.
Pat, does she have cast iron over there?
Yeah, there's a couple of cast iron skillets upstairs.
I'm trying to avoid my live appearances.
Y'all, you all need to be grateful I have a sense of humor.
Oh, yes, you do.
Yeah, y'all ought to be happy I do, too.
Yeah, I still like Flora's better.
Yeah, you would. Because you like where the camera points.
Oh,
yeah.
Quit it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, John, we heard about...
Cam.
Yeah, we heard... Let's see, Dale was in the week after. He goes, what's up with this? I'm there in person. I don't see nothing. John's there. He comes in, and then there's the boob cam on.
Well, I'm looking at the screen, and there's her chest. I'm like, hey, what is this? And Pat's just over there smiling, you know?
Just like I am right now.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
This operation's really jinky at times.
We have fun.
Sometimes.
We have fun.
I really wanted to be live
here
today,
I was
but there was
thinking this is a family show.
there's no way I was going to make it. I really wanted to be
at
live.
7:01, Justine.
I was going to say, went down the tubes with that.
I wanted to be live today so that I can complain about the Browns.
We talked about that earlier, but we can recap.
We barely
if you
won
want.
against the NFL's worst team.
You know what I said, John? I said that Baker Mayfield is not this team's future quarterback. I decided that today.
Why do you say that?
He is completely inconsistent.
Inconsistent, can't throw from inside the
He
pocket.
doesn't do what he's told to do, and
mechanics are garbage.
His mechanics are garbage. And I don't know what they're going to do with him. He sure as hell isn't going to be the team that's going to take this team to a Super Bowl.
I think he can be developed. My issue was because we had all those people out, there was no defense. It was a joke.
Well,
How about them Steelers?
I mean, listen.
Yeah, how about them Steelers? They can't even get on the damn field.
Well, the Ravens, because of their idiot strength and conditioning coach. Well, I mean, their strength and conditioning coach should automatically lose his job because he was walking around the facility doing workouts without a mask, being around the players. You know.
How the heck can you do a workout wearing a mask?
I mean, he was conducting a workout. He wasn't doing the workout.
Well, that's not what you said.
Okay. I meant conducting.
Come on.
Yeah, I meant conducting. Yeah.
You know me.
Yeah, I do. But, okay. Just to correct for John, okay, he was conducting a workout without a mask, which coaches are supposed to be wearing masks when they conduct workouts. 20 of their players got COVID, and another 5 of their staff members, coaches or...
my thing with the Browns, I saw plenty of good passes with Baker today, including that one, I think it was in the fourth quarter, where he's wide open, ball's right on point. I think was it Hunt, Pat?
Yeah.
Well, he was wide open on the right.
Yeah, well, that was kind of behind him, though.
That was one of his worst passes, if it's the one I'm thinking of. He threw it completely on the wrong side of him because his feet weren't set when he threw the damn thing. How about that one in the end zone where, who the hell was
Higgins.
that? Higgins was wide flipping open, not anybody within 20 feet of him, and he couldn't get the damn ball to him. Because he couldn't get his feet set. You know, his mechanics are trash. I don't care what anybody says. And he's not, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think... He's not even, if it was up to me to decide, he wouldn't get his fifth-year option. I wouldn't even try it. He's not that good. He is not that good.
He's too short.
I disagree with every one of you people. I think
you
the problem...
You go into Jacksonville and can't beat the worst damn team in the NFL?
I agree.
Or barely beat them by 2 stinking points?
I know.
When you got Chubb and you got the...
Hold on. Oh, you got to hear me out here,
Let
though.
him speak.
This is the first year Baker Mayfield has been coached under a regime that actually knows what they're doing. So let's take a breath here and let's see how next year goes, because I bet you he's going to blow it away. I really do.
He's going to blow it away, all right.
Yeah, his career. Yeah, if you mean he'll blow his career away, you're right.
I disagree. I'm a Baker fan, tried and true.
I can tell. But I don't see progression. I see regression, and that's not on coaches.
They said even though they said his quarterback rating was 117 today.
Yeah,
which is about its average. But that doesn't excuse the way that team looked. Of course, then again, if you had Myles Garrett in there, that would have been a lot different.
I know, it would have been a way different game. I'm telling you, a quarterback can only do so much. It's the whole team. The quarterback scores, the defense prevents scores, and if you can't prevent them, and if you can't protect your quarterback,
they've had trouble with that
it
all
all
year.
falls apart. And listen, we would not be. What are we? 8-3 now? Is that where we're at?
8-3, yeah.
Yeah.
We would probably be 3-8 without Baker.
But look who you've beaten.
Telling you.
Look who you've beaten.
Yeah.
Nobody's had a winning record. They tried that once and got beat. Twice and got beat.
Mm-hmm.
Well.
And they're probably going to get run out of the place next week against Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee's going to be a good trial, even though they're going to have Myles Garrett in that pack.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be a good game if it gets played.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm waiting to see what happens with the Pittsburgh game.
Mm-hmm.
That could be beneficial for either one to win. If Baltimore won, that would put them even with the Browns. That would be 7-4. But if they lose, that would, or 7. What is that? 7. They'd have 7 wins anyway. Look at it. But if they lose, that would actually lock the Browns in probably into a playoff berth.
How would that be even with the Browns when the Browns have won 8? Or
well, it would. The way that it would work is if Baltimore loses next Tuesday or whenever they're going to play that thing, that will actually lock the Browns into a playoff berth. I do know that. I don't remember what the
scenario has to be.
Scenario had to be, but I know it would give them a playoff berth. Now, if Pittsburgh won or Pittsburgh lost, I would. That really isn't going to be very damaging to the hopes of the Browns, but it would make it a little more interesting as far as coming down the stretch. Personally, and I say this with tongue in cheek, wouldn't it be awesome if if Pittsburgh came to the Browns stadium and the Browns beat them?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if this team is talented.
I'm looking at Justine Piles' picture. I'm wanting to see it. I'm wanting to hear what she's got to say.
If we're healthy, I think it could be done. The Browns have a good defense when everyone's there, but if we're plagued with COVID like this, it's not going to happen.
Pittsburgh's, 3 weeks away? 4 weeks away.
I mean, the problem is the Browns, even when they get Garrett back, they're still without Ward, and they have no depth at defensive back. So if you have no depth at defensive back,
Ward's going to be probably out for 2 or 3 games. I don't expect that to be 4, and the fourth one I think is Pittsburgh, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
I think there's 5 weeks left, isn't it?
Yeah, because we're week 11 right now, and there's 16.
Yeah, so it's Pittsburgh's the last game of the year.
So we got a chance to get our health back by then.
True.
But we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting either way. I hate to see it if they get in. They play Pittsburgh the last game, and then we end up in a playoff berth, and it's against Pittsburgh again.
Mm-hmm. That
would be
unfortunate because I don't see.
Yeah, that would be a probably pretty big beatdown.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Does anybody follow college football?
I do.
If Ohio State's in trouble when it comes to the national championship,
yes, they are.
If they get one more game canceled, they're not eligible.
Yep.
So they better not.
I think canceled. At the late date that they decided to bring the Big Ten back, I thought that was a mistake. I really did.
Mm-hmm.
That was They should.
My question is, why is it canceled and not postponed?
Because they only have so many weeks that they can play, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. As it is, it's Michigan. We play Michigan the 18th of December, I think.
They have to be done by the first or second week of January.
Yeah. The other interesting thing, and I don't even know how that game turned out, was Denver played without a quarterback.
Oh yeah, the practice squad wide receiver. Last time I saw it was 17-0 whoever they were playing, but I'll check that because I think that's worth mentioning.
That would have been an interesting game. You don't have a damn quarterback at all.
31-3.
31-3. Yep.
At least he scored 3 points.
Yeah.
And he's got NFL experience now.
Yeah. At least the other team felt so bad they let you kick a field goal at the end of the game.
Well, whatever works. Yeah. Hey, Flora.
Hey, Pat.
Got any questions for the corner?
Let's see.
Can I put you in the corner?
No, you can't put me in the corner.
I'm glad I'm not there tonight.
That's okay, John.
Hey, Pat, why you say it like that, bro?
Yeah, because that's Pat. I mean, what are we going to do with him? I just don't know.
Hey, you want me to put you in the corner? Oh,
Flora was working on that wine pretty good.
Well, I'm done. I probably have asked this before, but we'll ask it tonight only because. What superpower would you like to have?
Super speed.
Huh?
Super speed.
Super speed.
I'd like to be able to hear what people are thinking.
I kind of agree there. Same.
What the heck was that movie that had Mel Gibson in it?
What Women Want.
Yeah, that was it. That was a good flick.
They had one with, what's her name? Haddish. Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah, Haddish.
And it was What Men Want. and it was funny, but
no,
it wasn't
that was
as
Taraji
good as the
P.
other one.
Henson.
Oh, was it? Okay.
I thought it was.
That was Taraji. That was
Yeah.
I thought it was Haddish.
No.
It was Taraji.
Was it
All right,
Taraji?
someone
Okay.
look it up on IMDb.
Being the pop culture that I am, I know my stars.
I was just gonna say, if you want somebody who really knows pop culture, it would be Kyram. Like pop culture.
I know my stuff.
Yeah.
Did you see her twerking on the American Music Awards?
No.
You missed it.
If I want to see somebody twerking, I got a phone for that. I don't need to jump on the television all the time for that.
What are you trying to say, Kyram?
I said I can access that anytime.
Hey, Kyron, give me your phone number and I'll twerk for you.
Man,
You don't want to see that.
Oh. No.
Scrub my eyes.
Where's your sound effect?
I think I just lost my dinner.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. Okay, Keith, what kind of superpower would you like to have?
Predicting the future.
I don't think anybody would want to know their own future, because what if you find out you die and you can't avoid it? That'd be very depressing.
Oh, well.
Like, one hell of a superpower. It was nice while it lasted.
All right, so Kyram wants to have speed, and Keith wants to see into the future. Justine, you had some answer, and I can't remember now. I'm sorry. Didn't you? Yeah,
I wouldn't want to read people's minds. I'd not want to.
Yeah,
know
she wanted to read people's minds.
Okay, she wanted to read people's minds. Okay.
No, I would like to be able to read the mind of animals.
Oh.
Dr. Doolittle.
I was going to say, so you want to be Dr. Doolittle.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I want to be able to.
Wally, what you thinking, buddy? Bark, bark.
Or
I just want to be able to go outside and zap trees and have money grow on them.
I mean, if you say something to your animal and they just give you a stare, well, what are they thinking? Like, you're an idiot because you know I can't talk, but you're still talking to me. Like, is that what they're thinking, or are they really thinking?
They're smarter than you give them credit for.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I want to know what my dog is thinking when I talk to him or her.
Mine looks at me and says, her is thinking, who's this dumbass talking to?
Yeah.
I think it's
a new one. What kind of dumb superpower would you like to have? A very useless one.
I think it's down to John Brown.
Yep.
I wasn't listening.
Huh? What?
Why does
That's a useless superpower, not being able to listen.
Well, to be honest, wasn't listening. I'm reading about this this Broncos player, Kendall Hilton.
The guy who went 1 for 9 for 13 yards, the quarterback?
Yeah, but guess what? He had 0 reps in practice.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Okay.
What superpower do you want, John?
Superpower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to have a superpower?
X-ray vision.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh no. He wants to be super.
Yeah, there's that boob thing again.
Julie's wearing pink today.
Ooh, somebody is horny.
Yeah, I don't think that's the part that he'd like to see.
I'm so happy I can say that she's wearing a G-string. Ha
Ooh, look at that one. There ain't no G-string there. Oh.
Oh,
underwire.
Time to mute the TV.
Water bra.
No, she ain't wearing no
Or
underwear.
nothing.
I think probably stank.
Or just nothing there. One of the two. Oh, there's nothing there. Ooh, pleasant.
I think mine.
Smells so bad it
Yes,
jump
dear.
off the roof.
I think mine would be invisibility.
You want to be invisible.
That's right. Just think of the stuff I could see.
I like to be invisible and go to different people's houses and see exactly what they say about me when I'm not there.
That's right.
The fly on the
Also,
wall.
I would like to be able to walk through things. That would be fun.
No, you're gonna blow your cover if you're invisible. Because what if you have a cold and you cough? Who's that? Nothing, honey.
It's just here.
It was the wind. Who's saying that? It's God.
Maybe that's where the was it the Eagles that did Imaginary Lover? Maybe that's where they came up with that at.
Oh wait, guys, we didn't even say useless superpowers. If I had a useless superpower, I want my ears to grow 3 times the size of my body, so I could flap them and fly away.
I would probably say useless superpower. Yeah, walk through being able to walk through things.
That's not a useless superpower, dude. You can rob a bank just walking through things.
Walk through the vault? Heck yeah.
Okay, useless superpower, Eric. Example: what if you were able to grow your butt 3 times the size and bounce away?
Okay.
Call you Tigger.
Yeah.
Call me ass.
Ass man.
Paint your orange and.
It's astronomical.
It's Booty Boy.
You guys.
Every time you can hear him coming because he just goes boy yo 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 boy yo yo boy yo. Then he got a fart. And then boy yo yo.
Imagine what a fart would sound like.
Not like dubstep.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, the show has gone.
I was going to say, where has the radioactive show gone now?
This show just keeps going further and further and further down.
It was from a simple question you told me to ask. It got twisted. Ay.
Any other superpowers out there?
I would like to have the same superpower that Melanie talked about, growing money on trees. That's for sure.
Boy.
How about a useless skill?
Everyone's saying useful.
And then you could say that your parents lied to you. Money doesn't grow on trees. Yes, it does. Huh? Pow! Pow!
Bills paid.
Oh.
Bills paid. Bills paid.
I could
Amen.
see a teenager going, "Yeah, Grandma,
Don't need the
all
money."
right."
Taxes who? No.
What? Make it rain.
I never had to take out another. I never had to take out a loan for.
What is this?
I need to fill out my schedule for next.
Anybody got
My
a
oldest sign language for a pen. Look on the TV, sweetheart.
Or maybe even a power to grow your fingers really long so you can type on your keyboard and not have to sit near it.
So
That's why they have
Googled.
wireless keyboards.
So I googled useless superpowers.
Yeah.
And the number one that I found was being able to communicate with squirrels.
That would be cool.
That would be dope, though. That would be cool. Get them to break into people's houses.
Oh Lord, I don't know who came up with that one.
You would have an army
That's
of.
not really that useless though.
It's pretty damn useless. They're pretty stupid.
They're fast as hell.
Yeah,
I feel kind of bad for the one that I kicked out of my garage because I found like 10,000 acorns in there. And I pretty much threw all his shit in the yard. You know, I kicked them out.
9 to 4.
Dang, you done evicted the squirrel, man. He now knows what it's like to be human.
Well, I at least threw all of his acorns in the yard so he can hide them elsewhere.
Yeah, then he's going to get evicted by another animal.
I would have just shocked the squirrel.
Not very nice.
I don't care.
I was putting my Christmas tree up tonight, and I found acorns in the Christmas tree box.
He did.
My family doesn't have good luck with squirrels. They tend to nest under, like, in the under part, the wire harness of cars, and they tend to eat the wiring. So I have no respect for squirrels.
That doesn't mean you shock them, Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
Justine, what did you say about the Christmas tree stuff?
Oh, I was putting up my Christmas tree tonight, and I found acorns in the Christmas tree box.
Where do you keep that at? Upstairs?
In the attic.
Oh, that's not good. You better check your attic for openings.
Yeah, I know.
See, this squirrel was up in the rafters. I needed a tarp. I keep a tarp up real high in the rafters that we use in the wintertime. We cover my wife's garden so any kind of grass doesn't grow, you know.
Yeah.
And I undid the tarp. It scared the living daylights out of me. I saw he ran down the rafters and out the door. And then I pulled the tarp down, and there was, oh my God. There must have been, I'm serious, there was probably 10,000 acorns in there. I couldn't believe it. He didn't destroy the tarp, but he, like, made his home in the tarp. That was all wrapped up, you know.
He was geared up for something big.
He was hunkering down for winter.
The squirrel apocalypse.
Oh.
Yeah, he was like the homeless crazy man of squirrels. It was just like, there's coming one day, someday it's going to happen.
You know, and I knew something was living in there because I've been like, I put my hand in one of my like work gloves last week, and I found like 5 acorns in there. I'm like, what the heck? You know, and there was like acorns on my toolbox. I'm like, man, something's going on here.
I think the squirrels are trying to intimidate you. They're sending you a message. The acorn is here. The acorn is everywhere.
Yep, it's everywhere.
We are watching you.
Scared the crap out of me, though. I can tell you that.
Can you imagine getting stalked by squirrels? Oh my God, that'd be terrifying. You wake up and find one just in your underwear drawer.
Speaking out.
No, how about one just like hanging out right above your head?
Like sniffing them, just smells like oak wood.
No, I mean a squirrel. Just like you wake up and there's a squirrel right above your head.
Just go ahead and shower.
Yeah, he puts his paw to your lip and goes shh.
Oh, yeah. What would your reaction be if that happened?
I piss myself out of fear. Like they are evolving out here. They're smart enough to break in and intimidate me like an FBI. Oh no.
We better hope it's not a raccoon.
I would cry. It would be worse if it was a raccoon to get rabies.
Squirrels pull up in their black SUV.
Clearly, you're missing that.
With tinted windows.
Clearly, Kyram, you're missing why I say that.
They're playing NWA on real low.
Well, folks, it's about that time to wrap this up.
Thank God.
Fun show.
Yeah.
Well, let me go get another Guinness before you start playing the parting glass.
Well, go ahead and get it, and I'll be playing it here in a minute. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening tonight. If you found us on Spreaker, thanks for the listen there. And if you have found us on Spreaker, please give us a like or leave us a comment. We do read them there. I appreciate everybody that took the time to come in here tonight, too. Without you guys, it wouldn't be the same show. Sometimes I wonder, but it wouldn't be the same.
Really looking forward to next week's show.
Yeah, next week we're going to do a
try it on something first.
We're going.
What are we doing next week?
Go ahead and tell him, Eric.
Drums, please.
Okay. We are doing subliminal messages in kids' movies and shows.
Oh, God.
That...
You're one of those people that ruins my childhood.
Yes, I am. Because, psychology class in high school had to ruin mine, so I have to ruin
everybody else.
I was going to be live, but now I got to think about it. I'll probably forget about what we're talking about and just be really pissed off when I get there. That's probably what's going to happen.
I'm ready, Pat.
All right. Well,
I'll have the Hellmans here, okay?
Yeah, well,
Hellmans, that's fine.
What we ought to do
is fun talking about subliminal messages and
I just don't like that giant eagle.
Are they helping your child or making them paranoid?
Yeah. We should fix some scallions and let him try them.
Oh, Lord. All right, well, it's been fun.
Yeah, it has been. We'll see you all next week. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you guys for coming in with us.
Have a good week, everyone.
We'll see you next week.
See you next time.
All these people say that next time you hear me, I might have giant ears flapping.
Good night and joy be to you all.
Goodbye, everybody.
Oh, the comrades that e'er I had, they're sorry for my going away, and all the sweethearts that e'er I had, they wish me one more day to stay.
This has been a Crooked River Media production.